Hello all, and welcome to another Lazy Friday hard kombucha review. So this was a gift from, my father and them. You want me to review it? So I'm going to go and review it. I am going to confess that I've maybe had about 2 to 3 hard kombuchas in my life. I've reviewed one of them, but I do not consider myself a connoisseur of hard kombuchas. So this is by Flying Embers, and it is Orange Passion Mimosa with a hint of guava. This is 6.9 ABV and 130 calories. Now, I don't know how hard kombucha is made. I don't know if like the Scooby is like producing booze or something like that, or if there's like an addition of malt liquor at the end of the fermentation process for the kombucha. Um, and yeah, so I don't really know how hard kombucha is made. You know, kind of going into this with very little experience. I'm going to dub this review the. Ooh, I can smell that booch smell all the way over here. I'm going to dub this review the Russia Surprise Attack review, playing Civilization, because it's a lazy Friday afternoon in which I do absolutely nothing of merit. And Russia suddenly invaded right before like I was going to go and stop at about 6 o'clock. It's now like 6:20. I just rage quit after attempting to go and handle it. I am really bad about managing my border defenses. I get sort of wrapped up in building my economy up, and so I end up having like a lot of money, but like outdated troops defending my borders and everything. So, okay. Now it's not going to have much of a head because so orange, passion fruit, and also just a little hint of guava too, just as it says on the menu there. On the label. A very pale, slightly opalescent yellow, very well carbonated. Now you want to do it, okay. You can see, very well carbonated. And then that typical um, kombucha fermented smell. That kind of sharp tang. Very distinctive, very hard to describe, yet all the same. You know it when you smell it. Onto the palate now, shall we? Very tart. Very, very tart. Up front, the orange appears first in the front to mids, kind of vanishes, and then reappears in the long finish. And tartness kind of appears in, right in the beginning, goes into the mids, and then kind of flatlines off. Other than the orange, most of the fruitiness is in the top note. You don't really get much of the passion or any of the guava on the palate. Sorry this is taking me so long. I had one can to preview, but you know, I don't know. I don't think I sussed it out all that well last night after that natural light I had. Because after I had the natural light, I went and did the tasting on this, then had dinner. Um, honestly, it's not as sharp. Even though I'm saying it's sharp, it's not as sharp as a lot of natural kombuchas I've had, especially homebrew kombuchas, which are really sharp. Yeah, as it warms up, there's sort of a boozy top note. And for some reason, even though it doesn't have hops, my nose is starting to run. Which is interesting. Most kombuchas don't do that to me. Almost like a wine-like note emerging as it warms up too, in the mid to finish. White wine-like note, I should note. Okay, so yeah, I still have a quizzical look on my face. I'm still trying to suss this out. I mean, it shouldn't be too difficult. You got basically what it says on here: the orange to passion. Hint of guava is mostly in the nose. I really can't get it on the palate or on the top note. Um, orange is a bit on the palate. Basically get kombucha notes there. And kind of booziness too, especially as it warms up. I'm going to say I prefer just regular kombucha. Hard kombucha, it just, hard kombucha to me tastes very much like kombucha, but like slightly off. Like the alcohol really doesn't add to the kombucha experience, you know? Um, you're just kind of left wishing that you had like just a straight kombucha that's still alive, because obviously this can't still be a live culture with 6.9 alcohol in it. Um, maybe it can. I don't know what the tolerance of the Scooby yeast would be towards alcohol. But yeah, I'm just left kind of wondering, what would this taste like just as a regular passion orange guava kombucha? And I'm curious. I want to have this without the alcohol. I just want a straight kombucha. Um, that's probably because I just associate kombuchas with, being non-alcoholic, even though I know they have like a slight amount of alcohol in it because it's fermented. I don't expect them to have like a high alcohol percentage or, to really give me a buzz or anything like that. And that's also why I don't really review like hard iced teas or anything like that, because it's like, well, if I want the flavors of an iced tea, I'm going to go and drink an iced tea, and not something that is an iced tea with alcohol in it. Now, the main question to me, well, I suppose the main question for me, which maybe you can answer, is this: are hard kombuchas made, is the alcohol content made by fermentation by like a special Scooby yeast, or is it an addition after? Because I'm really curious. I haven't looked it up. It's just something that suddenly popped up in my mind as I'm doing this review. And I think that, you know, um, I'm going to make the guess that it isn't part of the Scooby yeast, that maybe it's either an addition or a sort of post addition, post fermentation of the kombucha, because it just feels like the alcohol is kind of tacked on to the experience. It's not core. It's not really central to that kombucha flavor or smell. So while it may seem like I'm being kind of critical, I'm not. I'm being kind of. I'm asking questions, that's all. Questions that Google can answer most likely, but, you know, it only popped up while I was doing this review. And I'm probably going to go and Google it right now because I know nobody is going to really answer that one in the comments. So, yeah. Flying Embers, hard kombucha. If hard kombucha is your jam, good on you, mate. Make a suggestion, for some reviews. If you're a kombuchard, a kombuchist, hard kombuchist. And that, folks, is your hard kombucha review for this evening. Cheers.